everyone, welcome back to Realty+Show on Republic Television. I am Amit B. Wadhwani, and this week we have 7 panelists. The reason? Because this is the season of festivities. Real estate and festivals go hand in hand. Should you buy your real estate on the day of the big Diwali day, Akshaya Tritiya day, or should you wait for the best offers to come in days and times to come? We'll find out.
Amit Wadhwani, our anchor and the host, brings his enigma and in-depth knowledge of real estate, Anurag Batra. Dr. Batra is the man with many hats and is one half of the show that busts the many myths associated with real estate. N. Sridhar is an angel investor, founder and sponsor of Social Impact Investment Platform. Pankaj has over 20 years of experience in real estate research, valuation, consulting, rating, and is acclaimed for analyzing real estate market trends with precision. Sanjay is a builder extraordinaire who helms the country's youngest real estate company, and with their contemporary designed residential projects equipped with all modern amenities, have carved a niche for themselves. Santosh brings with him over 2 decades of multifaceted experience in the banking industry and currently leads DHFL's business distribution channels across all retail asset product verticals. Sunil has 2 decades of experience in building businesses across telecom, BFSI, online startups, and now real estate. His experience spans sales and marketing.
Festivals in India are all around the corner. With festivals, we have real estate. So real estate had always been a favorite child when it comes to festivals. People love to buy properties, love to buy gold. And today we have Dr. Anurag Batra, my co-host, who will tell you more about festivals and the correlation of real estate with it.
Amit, real estate is possibly the biggest investment you make in your lifetime. And we Indians believe in God, are superstitious. We believe in good times, and festivals are a good time to buy anything. So real estate has become a priority. And also the developers dole out shops, schemes, which make it attractive for buyers to buy. But
what is so special? What is so special? Because
I think it's the feeling, because I genuinely believe good deals exist around the year, and if you're buying for self use, then you can buy any time around. But as I said, you know, that time the builders advertise a lot more, they make offers, they give shops. So really there is a fit in terms of buyer's mindset and the seller's mindset. So it's a kind of a...
I wanted to understand as to how does price change on a Diwali day or a Ganesh Chaturthi day versus a Shraddh day? What is so different?
I don't think the price changes too much. Just to make it attractive, you will have...
But consumers are told that you buy today and you will get a better discount, you will get a free car park, you will get gold with that. So
I think you have to look at offer to offer. Some of the developers do give price offs during this time, but you have to, conditions apply, you have to look at each developer's ad, offering, and the product before you... But it's a good time to buy, because at the end of the day, you know, there is a lot being advertised, there's lots on offer, and they're marginally better offers.
Okay, so I'll take that with a pinch of salt. What do you think about this, sir? Since you represent a developer, do you feel that on a Ganesh Chaturthi day or on a Diwali day, does something heavenly happens and the prices go down organically?
Well, I think there is no direct correlation as Dr. Anurag put it, but I think there is some sentiment attached to the entire space. And very funnily, you mentioned about whether the prices go down on a Shraddh and prices go down on a Ganesh Chaturthi day. Well, there is no correlation to that. Prices are there. Whatever the developer would charge is always built in based on his whatever expectation of his margins and IRR are there. But I think the sensitivity and the auspice, the mindset of the buyer really propels the developer to really make that as a time frame for to impact. So while you would have had some lot of customers in the queue who are ready to buy, then in the moment if Ganesh Chaturthi comes, Diwali comes, Dasara comes, you actually push him towards that price point.
So basically you're cashing in on the sentiment across the nation.
You do better conversions on that.
Are there any real discounts?
Will
a developer say that my profit margin is about 30%?
There is always a
marginal
pricing theory which applies, and typically there could be, to make the offer or sweeten the offer, there is something which could motivate. For it's like your huge Flipkart sale or a huge Amazon sale. You know, it's like buying mobile and then finding out.
I can afford to get a mobile phone buying decision wrong, but I can't really afford to get my home buying decision wrong.
Which is the
I'll quickly come back to you, Pankaj. What is your take on this?
No, I agree. Like, look at the couple of things which work together. Like the buying a property is one of the most difficult thing, because one of the lifetime investment person puts in.
Right.
So you look at the psychological inertias.
Right.
And people want to buy with when the dates are good, which are auspicious and all those things. So it opens up the mind of the persons. And within that, if you do something which is motivating, so it's like that getting into in his mind when he is attuned to purchasing the property, and that's where the builder comes.
He's
with
more
kind
susceptible to cut out a check to you.
Exactly, and so it's like that just playing with that inertia. So if you look at all through the time,
you
like
catch him on a weak moment.
Yeah, so this is the time where the least dissonance is there in his mind. He's mentally prepared. Family has been guiding them. This is the best time to purchase the property, and which builders really cash in. So look at builders. Look at that point of time when the buyer is most attuned to purchase. And that's where the best of the offers, whether it's a housing finance companies come up with the best deals, or the developers offering some kind of a discounts and things like it, and with the mind opening of the consumer, I think it really adds to the harmony.
But what about the price? What about the price? No. Are the prices really at an all-time low for that fiscal year?
I'm saying that if you see the time correction which has happened for last 3 years and all those things, and since the sales have started really growing, I see it is bottomed. It is bottomed. And I see there are different ways of discounts available. Maybe the price is more or less the same, but the subvention schemes are
one way of offering a discount is add the offer to your base price and then float it in the market. Sunil, you've worn different hats. You've been in the broking business. You've been in the investment banking side. What do you think about this? Would you buy your dream house during Ganesh Chaturthi, during Diwali? Do you really believe that in the country of India, the discounts offered are real discounts?
No, I would clearly. So I'm more on the positive side, because real estate is not an industry coming from Mars. It is same as FMCG, telecoms. In all industries during these times, there are offers coming in from the product providers. And I agree with the first two gentlemen that these times are a catalyst or a decision accelerator for people who are on the fence, etc. So I would sort of be clear and answer that there are real discounts because there are 7-8 ways to give discounts during these periods.
Could you list a few top 5-6 so-called discounts which consumers would want to know?
So largely it is around amenities. There are some amenities which are priced, and during this period we sort of give discounts on that. Could be a smart home solution worth 1 to 1.5 lakh. Could be a discount on parking. Could be a sort of a covered parking, stilt parking sort of.
Sir, but there is a theory that says that Indian real estate is going through a difficult phase. Even when you come to a developer's office with a checkbook and offer to cut out that check on a day which is not very auspicious, a Shraddh day, or a day which is a day where we have riots, or where we have floods, or where we have, a not very conducive environment, developer will still give you that discount.
So no, true discount is something which comes on top of that. Now it is commonplace knowledge that you sit face to face and you get that sort of discount. So I would, if I'm a real astute buyer, I would ask for something more than that, because it's available anyways here. So
we are telling consumers to ask more, negotiate better. Mr. Nair, what do you think about this?
See, I think it's
you're structuring subvention schemes, pay 0% now, 100% later, and also take the gifts back home. What's happening?
See, it's a mix and match of everything, I would say. Okay, and now there's no clear answer to it. Of course, like how you mentioned also, when you go in a normal day, which is not in festive period. And if there are offers which you get. So it's not like it's.
Does this depend on the financial fitness of the developer? यार आज मुझे पैसे की जरूरत है, आज चेक देते हो तो ये भाव है.
I think any time is good for the builder, right? Any time is good for the builder. So it is, and the segment which we cater is in the affordable housing,
right, sir?
Which is the average ticket size is about 17 lakhs. So some of these factors would play on the sentiments of people in these places, because they still consider festivals as an auspicious period for them to buy a loan. But that doesn't say that you cannot go in a normal period and get, because there is there are offers right through the year. And probably sometime on the festive season is little more. The reason is because sometimes financiers also, give some, processing fee off and stuff like that, which makes it a little more conducive for the the customer to take a look.
It would be interesting to look at how much of your sales happened during this period. Suppose if you were to do 100 unit sales over a year, how much happens in this?
Probably in Western India, they are one of the guys who's selling maximum units every day.
As you rightly said, in the western part of the country, we are now pan-India too, and we are in different states. But to answer the specific question of proportion of sales, and actually there is a proportion of sales, but it is more correlated to the marketing and sales effort that you have put in for culminating that sale in this festive period. And to supplement what Santosh said, it's more important to package the right kind of product to the right kind of customer. And then you give him that kicker. It's like an offer. So that's what really motivates. The guy has been thinking, see, real estate is not a mobile phone or it's not a consumer product. While we are trying to institutionalize and make it industry driven, the whole point is a guy spends a common man spends enough time to figure out that his life savings, so much will come out of his bank, so much will come out of his personal savings, so much will come out of a loan. So all of these things matter, and that cannot be taken in a jiffy.
So I tried asking straight questions whether the prices are at an all-time low during the festivities. Sanjay, can I get a straight answer? You also develop a lot of buildings in Mumbai. Do you really give offers which are very, very mesmerizing, so to say?
Mesmerizing.
Hi Amit. Wish everyone happy Ganesh Chaturthi and Michami Dukram. See, in the past few years, sales have been low, and every developer is keen to clear off his inventory. So this is a practice of business. So giving offers is not a crime. He wants to complete the project, sell it off, and move ahead. So
giving offers is not a crime. It is for the consumers to understand and dissect every offer. We'll come back in a moment from now and discuss more about this. Welcome back. So we were discussing about festivals and offers. Recently I heard about an offer that says buy a 2-bedroom hall kitchen and on a Ganesh Chaturthi day get 1 bedroom free. Sir, ये कैसे possible करते हो आप?
Well, I would not like to comment about the specific offer or by a specific developer, as you said, Amit. But I think that's not truly what it would mean, because I don't think so. Developers have become so desperate to have been able to sell something which would be really.
But this was there in the papers.
Correct.
And even the sample flat, go to the sample flat and they'll show you a 2-bedroom hall kitchen and suddenly open one door and it's the 3rd bedroom.
So what happens is now all your DCR rules, your ERA, everything has become very tight, and so obviously every project gets registered. So every sale is on a carpet area basis. So I think the consumer is also very clearly aware what is he paying for. So you may say that I'm selling you 150 square feet, but I'm charging you only for 100. But your price point could be, instead of 3,000, it could be 3,500 rupees. So that's how they do it. But the perception of a discount or perception of getting something more value from the developer is the marketing and the sales pitch that you really have. And that really works, as Santosh said, in the segment of socioeconomic B minus and C. That the ticket size for a house could be anywhere between 25 to 40 lakhs. And that's where the value maximization perspective of the customer is taken into account while the developer makes such offer.
I mean, everything that we see and read in the mobile phone, you get free gold vouchers, you get an extra bedroom, you get maybe a couple of washrooms in days to come. Avi, what's your take on this?
See, I think it's a tool for pumping up sales. Offers definitely.
Sir, I want to ask you a question. Festivals के time में क्या आपको rate जो है, do you really get real discount better?
Marginally better, yes. Marginally better, but as I said, conditions apply. You have to get into the fine print. You have to look at what is the off on amenities. I don't think you should put too much value on a car or a gold being offered, because you're buying a house. You can still go out and buy a car on its own. There's a discount on the car anyway. So you have to look at the house or the flat on the merit of the flat. And there are three components: per square feet price, the amenities price, and the financing scheme. I think these are three things you should look at, compare it to 6 months before and make a decision.
Prices are marginally better, which is good news for consumers and good news for builders, because this will motivate consumers and end users. I came across a scheme which says we will pay you 90% of the market value or the agreement value, and the OCR we will fund by virtue of a personal loan. So the purchaser of the house actually ends up paying nothing. 100% funding without anything, invested by.
I'm saying, like how Sridhar said, see, you can get all these offers out there. Okay, you really need to actually, how Hamid mentioned, how Anurag mentioned. You need, at the end of the day, it's for the consumer to probably look at these offers. With a microscope and see what are the hidden agenda in the whole scheme. Because the reason is, sometimes it's not all that what you see is what you get, right? Any time is a good time to go and sit with the builder. Go and sit with him, and I'm sure the builder will offer him somewhere close to what the festive period is.
So that reminds me of Dr. Niranjan Niganandani, who was here on the show and said, if you're not buying, you're foolish. If you're not buying real estate, you're foolish. Sunil, what's your take on this? Do you feel this is the right time to buy? Forget festivals for a moment, in terms of where we are in September, October 2000.
No, superb. So let's put the larger context as well, instead of looking at Diwali or Akshaya Tritiya. So the context is almost a Goldilocks situation, what's happened in the last 8-9 months. So demonetization era, GST has happened, the industry is cleaned up. Prices are at an all-time real low. But GDP has started moving in the last 6 months. Consumer confidence increased. For the NRI segment, rupee has fallen by 12%. Like, these are four sort of confluencing factors which have never happened in the last 5-6 years, and thankfully so. But this is a real normal asset class, so we should see inflation plus an equity.
So you feel that on any given day for the next 6 months, Indian consumers will get good discounts?
We'll get good prices.
Not necessarily on an auspicious day?
We'll get good prices, and an auspicious day, if there is a 1 or 2% kicker, they should participate in that, I would say.
I only have to add, I mean, it's not necessarily that they will get good discounts. I think the pricing for the consumer is going to become optimum. And as we see today, we are in a buyer's market. So I would assume that to add to what Sudhir is saying, is that it's a good time to buy. We see that in the next 2 or 3 quarters, demand, supply is already out there. Demand picking up, and there will be new buyers, there will be new homes. But I feel that currently real estate pricing is optimized, and buyers have a great ability to be able to get a good product with good amenities, as you mentioned.
Because they say that in India, the toughest thing to do is to convince somebody to not buy real estate.
Like, is
that true?
No, it is.
I mean, at one point in his or her life, the person will end up buying some sort of real estate.
Like, it's a social security. If you look at, like, we don't have much of the securities available from. So, so the few assets classes which he says that, like, gold in South India or North India and the Western India, which is a real estate. People buy for their own securities and they keep that in that sense. So it will continue to be.
I keep asking that, and in spite of like a 12% GST and 5 to 6% of stamp duty, you're minus 18% on day one. You still feel it's a good asset class?
But in
people
fact,
still end up making money?
Like, I see that there is a changes which is taking place also. I don't completely agree. So like we were discussing just before this particular, like we started off. Like, there are new age people who started coming in, the new millennial. They started thinking in the manner, would it be rational to continue owning this particular property? There are things which are going in for rental way of living and things like it.
Quick 10 seconds. Sorry to interject. Quick 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Would you recommend buyers to buy real estate this Diwali?
Yes, this Diwali is different than the last 2-3 years.
Why would you say that?
Because of the 3-4 factors that I mentioned. Things have changed in the industry. The last 20 years, we are not regulated, we are regulated now. GDP is increasing, economy is improving. So I think it's a good time to buy, and Diwali is a good sort of auspicious moment anyways.
How about you, sir?
I would say Diwali is of course good, and I would say it's going to continue. So it's going to be a Diwali for the entire year.
Diwali only for developers or for consumers?
No, even for, and seriously, and in like RERA and all has given a lot more confidence to see end buyer coming into the market.
Right. Okay. AB, what's your take on this?
See, I think, as I said, if you want to consume, you want to live in that property, and you have the money, any time is good to buy. So buy this Diwali. My hunch is over the next 6 months, prices will soften even more.
That's a bold statement. I mean, developer friends may not like it. They're already struggling.
I think we are close to the bottom, if not the bottom. I don't think you can expect next 6 months even maybe marginally better, because as the GST, demonetization, RERA have settled in, the consumer demand has picked up, and there are new buyers, first-time buyers of real estate entering in the workforce, which will kick up the demand.
What about you?
I think rationalization has happened. Consolidation is taking place. So my take would be the next 2 or 3 quarters, people should go out and buy, but they should look at the value proposition, the property, and I think the pricing has more or less bottomed out.
They look at the man who's developing also.
Absolutely. Because the product and the amenities will matter. Earlier relationships, approvals, etc. has to matter. Right now they have a beautiful opportunity to look at products. They have a choice. So I think it's the next 2 quarters would give a great opportunity for people to buy.
This Diwali.
And they should really optimize on it on this Diwali.
I agree. Like, it is a rational market. It's much more conducive. Interest rate is one of the lowest. Government has offered kind of subvention scheme which is historic in itself. So if you look at the net effective interest rate in the affordable segment is less than 4%. If you look at, which has never happened. So it's like, government initiative is also yielding. And second is that it has bottomed up. We look at prices across India hasn't really slid down. It has gone through time corrections, and the way the cost is built in, I see. So we built like a affordability and income index, which was in 2012-13 was a biggest gap around 400 basis point. It has come down to, if you take an interest adjusted affordability and inflation adjusted prices, the gap has reduced to 90. So if you take into account the kind of a subvention schemes being offered or certain other discounts which builders is offering, I see the parity is coming, and that's what is converting into sales. It's not just a sentiment which is selling. There is some way the rationalities has happened that is where the gap between affordability and prices reducing converting into sales.
Let me alter the question for your final take on this. Would you buy a plot this Diwali?
Plot. I'll buy any day.
Why? Why would you say that?
See, it has to make business sense to me for me to buy it.
Plots are also comparatively cheaper, so good time for developers also to pick up properties.
I think plots offer also a very extensive flexibility for the consumer to be able to build what he wants. We have in Chennai offered plots, and it's going like, piece of cake.
Super. So
it actually makes a lot of sense to buy plots.
We've had a great discussion today, though I believe real estate is to be bought with more scientific approach, more articulate understanding of the subject, rather than just jumping into the pool on a festival day. Thank you so much for watching. Maybe we'll need to do another episode to understand more about Indian consumer sentiment. Thank you so much for watching us.